This is a story of a woman named Sarah who was in a same-sex marriage who brought up a child. The story starts off with a young man named John. John was girlfriends with John's girlfriend was Sarah. They were both in college together. They were both finishing up college, and they had been dating for a few years prior. And like any other couple, they decided that they needed to get their lives on track and get married. They were both pretty young, both 25, just out of college, getting ready to be in a marriage, and they were eventually married. They loved each other for 3 years, but after that 3 years was up, they were not too happy with each other. They had problems, and Sarah just didn't feel the same about the relationship, so she thought it would be a good time to get a divorce. They were divorced, and a few months after they were divorced, Sarah began to realize that she was pregnant with a baby. She did not want to bring the child up alone, and so she had always had feelings for him, and so she had ended up finding one of her very good friends from high school, and they eventually got married. The baby was born, and the baby's name was Jonathan. Jonathan was like any other baby, born normal, and her wife, Jessica, was happy to bring the child, and they're all happy to start raising the child. 5 years later, they had to send the child off to school, and like any other parents, they were nervous to send him off to school on the first day, but unlike any other parents, they were one of the very, very, very few people that were same-sex, and they were both married. They thought this would bring problems, but they really just wanted to raise their child and love their child like any other parents would. So they sent him off to school. They loved him. Jonathan had a lot of friends, and even though Jonathan had a lot of friends, Sarah was still nervous. Sarah and Jessica both spent nights wondering, and had mixed emotions, and they were worried that their child wasn't going to be brought up right. But through the thick and heavy, Sarah and Jessica decided that they just wanted to bring the child up with lots of love like any other parents would. And as a result, Jonathan was a very happy kid. He grew up like any other kid. He eventually graduated from his high school with many honors and many awards. And Sarah and Jessica were completely happy, and they really appreciated and started to realize that their kid was going to grow up like any other kid, and it didn't matter what sex their parents were. But Jonathan ended up going on and living his life, graduated college, had a very stable job, and he was just ended up being your average Joe, and he had a wonderful girlfriend that he had loved all throughout college, and they eventually got married, and this is the end.